Overcoming Loneliness: Strategies for Building Connections and Finding Joy. Written by Sage P. Narrated by Julian Chippendale. Legal Notice: The publisher has strived to be as accurate and complete as possible in the creation of this report, notwithstanding the fact that he does not warrant or represent at any time that the contents within are accurate due to the rapidly changing nature of the Internet. While all attempts have been made to verify the information provided in this publication, the publisher assumes no responsibility for errors, omissions, or contrary interpretations of the subject matter therein. Any perceived slights of specific persons, peoples, or organizations are unintentional. In practical advice books, like anything else in life, there are no guarantees of income made. Readers are cautioned to rely on their own judgment about their individual circumstances to act accordingly. This book is not intended for use as a source of legal, business, accounting, or financial advice. All readers are advised to seek services from competent professionals in the legal, business, accounting, and financial fields. Table of Contents. 1. Why I wrote this book. 2. All alone. 3. Crowded yet isolated. 4. Emotional pain in a loveless world. 5. Love, the verb, not the feeling. 6. Learning how to love. 7. The laws of attraction. 8. Practical steps for dealing with loneliness. 9. Breaking the destructive cycle. 10. Finding our purpose in the wilderness. And 11. Life still has meaning. Chapter 1. Greetings, esteemed readers. If you are currently experiencing feelings of loneliness, know that you are not alone. This book was created with the intention of reaching out to those who can relate, as I too have gone through the depths of feeling lost and empty. Loneliness holds a special place in my heart, as I'm familiar with its overwhelming presence. I understand the intense and overwhelming nature of loneliness, having personally experienced its grip. The endless hours that stretch on like days, the solitude of nightfall that brings on silent tears, the loss of motivation to face the future, and the contemplation of giving up. These are all familiar struggles I have faced. Having a partner, spouse, or even a close friend does not guarantee relief from loneliness. Despite their best efforts, there are aspects of your experience that may remain inaccessible to those around you. Sharing our struggles with trusted confidants or seeking advice from a professional may provide temporary solace, but the pain lingers, and the desire to have others truly grasp the extent of your suffering remains unfulfilled. When you are lonely. I deeply empathize with your struggles, my friend, but I bring good news to all those who are feeling lonely. I have emerged from these difficult experiences and have found a path towards overcoming, or at least alleviating, the pain. My sincerest hope is that upon reading this book, you will have acquired the tools to effectively manage feelings of loneliness. Even if you do not personally struggle with loneliness, perhaps someone you know does. Use the knowledge gained from this book to bring comfort and positivity to their world. Chapter 2. All Alone. Loneliness is a feeling known to all, and its occurrence has become increasingly prevalent in a world of rapid technological advancement. Let us first define what loneliness means. Loneliness is an emotional state in which individuals feel disconnected from those around them and a profound sense of emptiness that makes their current surroundings unsatisfying. Loneliness affects people of all ages, marital statuses, and social situations. It makes it difficult for individuals to connect with others and creates a sense of detachment from meaningful relationships. It is important to distinguish loneliness from being alone. Alone time can be beneficial and even rejuvenating, as it provides opportunities for self-reflection, renewal, and rediscovery. Loneliness, on the other hand, stems from a feeling of emotional disconnection. If you are reading this book, it is possible that you are experiencing the symptoms of loneliness. Here are some common indicators. You believe that your issues are too unique for others to understand. Consequently, you feel like everyone else in the world has friends except you. You feel overly self-conscious in all your actions. You become extremely embarrassed when you make a mistake. In a crowd, you feel overwhelmed by the noise and feel disconnected by those around you. You are shy and frightened of others. Low self-esteem affects you. You feel angry, defensive, and critical towards everything, even when it is not directed at you. You are afraid of strangers and avoid engaging in conversation. You believe that there is something wrong with you. Anxiety and sadness consume you, and you believe that no one understands how lonely and isolated you feel. You lose your assertiveness and feel invisible. Change is difficult for you, and you avoid trying new things. You feel like nothing else matters and consider suicide. Take a deep breath, in and out. Chapter 3. Crowded yet isolated. Have you ever felt that your spouse or significant other doesn't truly understand you, even though they're right beside your side? Despite being surrounded by people, their presence can actually make you feel more isolated and lonely. This is because we are all unique and different, with our own distinct personalities, ideas, lifestyles, and needs. No one in the world is exactly like us, not even twins. And so it's impossible for anyone to completely fulfill all our needs and desires. And as the Bible says, why do you see the speck in your neighbor's eye, but do not notice the plank in your own eye? Or how do you say to your neighbor, let me take the speck out of your eye, while the plank is in your own eye? How does this apply? Recognizing that others are not responsible for fulfilling all of our needs can alleviate some of the pain of loneliness. By lowering our expectations of others and accepting them for who they are, we can improve our relationships and take the first step towards overcoming loneliness. Our environment and the people we surround ourselves with have a significant impact on our well-being and emotions. If we spend time with individuals who bring us down, it can contribute to feelings of loneliness and negativity. To prevent this, it is important to distance ourselves from toxic relationships and surround ourselves with positive and uplifting people. Chapter 4. Emotional Pains in a Loveless World. The root cause of loneliness is the inability of people to love others. The symptoms of loneliness intensify the pain to the point in which it becomes all-consuming and self-centered, obstructing the ability to love others. Think about when you have a stomachache. Who do you think of? This highlights that we are solely focused on ourselves and demonstrates the deeply painful world we live in. Additionally, loneliness is not a temporary issue like a stomachache that just goes away. It is becoming a growing problem, with young adults now experiencing what used to be referred to as a midlife crisis and increasing rates of suicide. Mental health issues, many of which are caused or exacerbated by loneliness, are also on the rise. The foundation of trust between individuals is becoming weaker, leading to fewer and fewer people being willing to share their thoughts and emotions with others. This further exacerbates feelings of loneliness, as others will not open up to someone who is closed off to them. It is often said that the key to having friends is to be a friend to others first. By showing others kindness and openness, you create a supportive network around you. Chapter 5. Love, the verb, not the feeling. The root cause of loneliness is the absence of love. It is a frightening reality that we are largely influenced by those around us. The 5 people we spend the most time with, who control our fate. Our current state is a reflection of the love we have received, or the lack thereof, from those individuals. In order to effectively love others, we must first learn to love ourselves. It is impossible to give what one doesn't have. Believing that you love someone else, such as a beautiful girl or a handsome guy, is not truly love if you do not have self-love. The key to loving others lies in loving oneself first. Loving others starts with self-love. To love someone effectively, you must first love yourself. Admiring someone for their appearance or sacrificing for them does not equate to love, as it may stem from egotistic motives rather than genuine love. Love is a verb and a product of action. It requires a foundation of self-love to avoid being an act of self-deception. However, if one has never experienced love, the question arises, how can they love themselves? The next chapter will delve into this topic. Chapter 6. Learning how to love. To address loneliness, it is crucial to understand the paradox of love. Loneliness can feel like being trapped in an unbearable prison, where our focus is solely on ourselves. As a result, we search for others to fill the emptiness with their love. However, many people try to gain love from others by doing things for them or exchanging favors, thinking that they are being loving. The reality is that loneliness can only be filled with the love of others, and we must first feel loved in order to fill the void. The paradox of love. To overcome loneliness, the first step is to understand the paradox of love. When we are lonely, we tend to focus solely on ourselves and try to fill the emptiness by seeking love from others. However, if our intention is solely to satisfy our own needs, we will not find the love we are seeking and will only experience deeper loneliness. This is because a self-centered approach hinders our ability to truly love others. What is the solution then? If one focuses on giving love selflessly, without expecting anything in return, they will become more lovable and eventually be loved by others. By putting the needs and concerns of others before their own, they can experience the joy of love and overcome feelings of loneliness. Everyone has the ability to love in some capacity. Everyone has the capability to shift their focus from themselves to the needs of others. The more one is willing to give love, the more they will receive it in return. Loving others without any expectation of something in return is like making a gift, not a trade. It is about being selfless, not seeking personal gratification or absolution. Asking, "What have you done for me?" indicates a lack of love. Starting small with love will result in receiving a small amount of love in return. However, by continually giving love, one can grow their capacity for love and receive more love from others. It is important to keep in mind that in order to give love effectively, one must focus on others rather than themselves. In the focus on oneself, the act of giving love will not be successful. Chapter 7. The Laws of Attraction. Have you ever noticed why some people are greeted with a respectful, "Good morning, sir," while others receive a casual, "Hey, bud," or "Hey, Mac"? Consider this. What distinguishes Donald Trump from a beggar besides a few $1 billion and a few buildings? The answer is what's inside their heads. People's reaction to you stem from how you perceive yourself. This is why people judge a book by its cover, or a person by their clothes. Although it's not fair, a person's thoughts and beliefs about themselves will manifest in their appearance and actions. The concept of the law of attraction is not a recent one. It's simply how things work. This can be seen in Murphy's Law, where the things we least want to happen often do. For example, a dropped piece of buttered toast always lands butter side down. Even as a child in school, I experienced this firsthand. When I was unsure of an answer in class, I would silently wish that the teacher wouldn't pick on me, but inevitably, they always did. Regardless of where I was sitting, the teacher seemed to have a mind-reading ability to know I wasn't paying attention or didn't know the answer. So how does this relate to overcoming loneliness? If you give off an aura of not wanting to be involved, you will feel unwanted and your friends will unconsciously reject you. It's important to stop acting like a rejected, unwanted puppy who just got out of the pound. Repeat to yourself, I am attractive, lovable, and people enjoy my company. It may not always be possible to fully believe that we are lovable, attractive, and enjoyable to be around. However, since we can't control what others think, this form of self-affirmation tricks our mind into thinking that we are lovable and attractive. Stop here, get a piece of paper and a pen, and write down your feelings to attract before going on to the next page. Chapter 8. Practical Steps to Overcome Loneliness. There are several methods to tackle loneliness, including forming friendships, engaging in self-care activities, and improving self-esteem. Remind yourself constantly that the experience of loneliness is only temporary. Take the initiative to connect with someone new, and eventually you will overcome it. It might be difficult, but you have to start somewhere, and the initial step is often the most challenging one, but also the most critical. Put yourself in new situations where you have the opportunity to meet new people. Pursue activities that align with your interests, and surround yourself with people who share similar passions. Join organizations such as church groups, clubs, and others. Avoid listening to music that evokes feelings of loneliness, and instead open yourself up to others. Don't expect others to confide in you if you appear closed off. Don't judge new individuals based on past experiences with others. Try to approach each person with a fresh perspective rather than being judgmental. Intimate relationships typically develop over time as people learn to open up and share their innermost feelings. Don't rush into friendships by revealing too much too soon or expecting others to do so. Don't limit yourself to seeking only romantic relationships. Platonic or casual friendships can bring immense satisfaction. Balance your life by prioritizing good nutrition, exercise, and adequate sleep. Neglecting these essentials can contribute to depression and further feelings of loneliness. Take time for self-reflection and avoid relying on friends for constant emotional support. Overburdening others with your problems can strain relationships. Focus on positive memories and appreciate your blessings. Pursuing new interests and skills can boost self-confidence and improve mental well-being. If you're experiencing persistent depression, seek medical advice. Seeking treatment, such as medication, can help address the underlying chemical imbalances that contribute to depression. Just like nourishing our bodies with food, seeking the right medication can help alleviate depression and loneliness. Chapter 9. Breaking the Destructive Cycle. Avoid pretending to be invincible when experiencing feelings of loneliness. Avoid dwelling in self-pity, as it is a form of pride disguised as suffering. It is crucial not to get consumed by loneliness, as it is a fundamental aspect of human nature to seek connections and relationships with others. If left unaddressed, prolonged loneliness can lead to negative outcomes. The person may become persistent in seeking connections, causing discomfort for those around them, resulting in strained relationships. Eventually, the person may start to feel ignored and justified in their belief that others simply don't care, leading them to embrace loneliness as a way of life. To prevent this, it is important to take proactive steps towards forming connections and avoiding excessive self-pity. Chapter 10. Finding Our Purpose in the Wilderness. Here is a story designed to motivate you. With the dust settles, and we have made all the money in the world, reached the height of fame, and obtained the epitome of power, what gives us true meaning in life? Many living things need each other to survive. If you have ever seen a Colorado aspen tree, you may have noticed that it doesn't grow alone. Aspens are found in clusters or groves. The reason is that the aspen sends up new shoots from the roots. In a small grove, all of the trees may actually be connected by their roots. Giant California redwood trees may tower 300 feet into the sky. It would seem that they would require extremely deep roots to anchor them against strong winds. But we are told that their roots are actually quite shallow in order to capture as much surface water as possible. And they spread in all directions, intertwining with other redwoods. Locked together in this way, all the trees support each other from wind and storms. Like the aspen, they never stand alone. They need one another to survive. Humans are also interconnected like a network of roots. We are born into families and develop friendships from an early age. We are not designed to exist for long periods of time without the support of others. Like the redwoods, we rely on the support of others to withstand the storms of life. We need the strength and comfort that comes from the connections we make with others. Chapter 11. Always remember that life still has a meaning.